Hello and welcome to The Songs That Changed Me. This is a series all about music that has had a really big impact on me, let's say professional musician. My hope here is that I can introduce a new generation of musicians to music that will have a positive impact on them and ideally mean that they make better music. And yes, sometimes it is going to be AC/DC, Led Zeppelin and stuff, and sometimes it's going to be bands that not even your dad has heard of. Not even your dad. I see that the influencers are all clipping their mics to things, and I have to say it feels really impractical. And I wonder if there's something even less practical I could use for the sake of, low stakes comedy. Yes. Today I want to talk about a band called Ozric Tentacles. Psychedelic, instrumental weirdness. My brother doesn't come off well in these stories because he would really protect the music that he liked. He would also play it really loudly, so I could stand outside of his bedroom door when we were kids and really hear this music. But if I asked him, hey, could you lend me whatever that is so I can burn it to cassette or something, he would not be happy with me. That would be a no-no. However, my brother would also leave the country as a teenager for quite long periods. There was this one summer where he was in the States for a few months. I basically helped myself to all of his music, and there was one CD that I really vividly remember listening to, and it was Pungent Effulgent. Pungent Effulgent. I'm going to let the captions do the work there. An album by Ozric Tentacles. I didn't know who Ozric Tentacles were, but I just grabbed a CD. I started playing it in my CD Walkman. I think I was doing some garden-based chores for my parents or something. I was weeding or brooming or hoeing. And I was listening to this album by Ozric Tentacles. And I remember thinking, this is pretty weird. They use a lot of synthesizers. They use a lot of kind of soundscapes. So I remember skipping through tracks quite a lot because the thing about Ozric Tentacles is they love a long intro. Their songs are long. A lot of their stuff is well over 5-6 minutes long. I remember listening to a bit and going, yeah, okay, I get it, and then skipping. And not realizing that the point I was skipping, stuff was about to kick in and get really exciting. I skipped a bunch of tracks until I got to a track called Kick Muck. Kick Muck is track number 7 on Pungent Effulgent. And I remember skipping forward to it, and the thing about Kick Muck, it has a really impactful intro. There's a really frantic kind of guitar line that I've seen their guitarist Ed Wynn play live a bunch, as well as a bunch on YouTube. And I'm still not really sure what he's doing there. But it sounds awesome, and it sounds really frantic and crazy. When the band kick in, it's really driven. I mean, frantic is the best word. And that really stuck with me. That was the song where I went, okay, I like this band, and I'm going to listen to more of this band. I guess Kick Muck, of all of the Ozric Tentacles catalogue, is the one song that feels the most like a song. It has the most typical structure without having lyrics or anything to really hold your hand in terms of structure like pop music does. Kick Muck was the song that made me go, okay, I do actually like this band. I'm willing to listen to a bunch of these songs, even if they're going to have a 10-minute ambient soundscape as the intro. I'll try it out. If you listen to a lot of the stuff I was doing, especially early on with Blue Alatar, one of my bands, you can kind of hear that synthy kind of stuff come through. I think there's bits of the Elements EP. You can really sort of hear that, and it's the specific combination of drums that feel a bit like they're drum and bass or jungle drums, but played with an acoustic kit. Big synth pads, acid house synth arpeggios, real groovy bass, and just shreddy electric guitar. That was the specific Ozric Tentacles kind of combination that I've tried to use every now and again. I like introducing elements of that. I think the last couple tracks I've released, The Trials and Om Nom, are kind of quite in that vein. I mean, Om Nom sounds like a song title from Ozric Tentacles, very much. What else do I want to say about Ozric Tentacles? I like seeing them live. I've seen them live, I think, a couple times. They're a lot of fun. I don't know how much longer, love and respect to Ozric Tentacles, I don't know how much longer they're going to be around. I never got into drugs. It's such a weirdly vague thing to say. Psychedelic music, right, has cultural implications. You assume someone that is into psychedelic rock music is smoking stuff, right? Or eating mushrooms. That's not an unfair thing to assume, I don't think. I never got into that world. I mean, do whatever you want with your life. I'm not really interested in any of that. And actually, I find like the imagery for like psychedelic music really, really distressing. I hate it. I really hate it. And like the album artwork for Ozric Tentacles, a lot of it, I hate it. I find it just weirdly upsetting, and I can't put my finger on it. And because that seems to be an art style that people who are really into like acid are really into this art style, I'm like, well, that sends me a pretty clear message that I should never take acid. I think it is entirely possible to like Ozric Tentacles and not be on drugs. I don't think that's an outrageous thing to say. And if you are also not on drugs, I don't care if you're on drugs. Listen to Ozric Tentacles. Don't take drugs. I don't care. I think you should listen to Ozric Tentacles. I think they're great. And they have a lot of music as well. Just pick a random song by Ozric Tentacles. And if you're not into it, listen to Kick Muck, especially if you've got like a background in like guitar driven music. And statistically, if you're watching this channel, you do. Listen to Kick Muck because it's very guitar heavy. And then if you like that, just pick an album and press play. Yeah. Sweet. This sword is so heavy.